No matter what it is, I'm gonna always keep it true. Thought it was over. I'ma show you, I'm a dominant ruler.
So we back with the lovely Danielle Laroach.
What's up? I'm happy to be here.
Hey, I wanted to pick back up on a couple questions that forgot to ask you.
Let's get into it.
But I really just wanted to ask you these questions.
Okay.
Get your opinion. You're coming from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to know, what do you think about Baton Rouge being number 4 in AIDS?
Wow. I definitely feel very strongly about that topic, especially being a black woman, being a minority, being from Baton Rouge. Definitely being prominent in my community. So I'm watching what's going on. I'm watching these numbers fluctuate and change. Baton Rouge go from number 1 to number 4, and I think like literally number 4 is just the newest statistic. Like last time I checked, I know the numbers are shifting, but I mean in like 2015, it was like 6 times more black men, you know, were diagnosed with HIV and AIDS than white men, and that's just in Baton Rouge. And I really don't like the stigma that's around the entire AIDS and HIV topic. I like people to understand they are 2 different illnesses, and you know, like so HIV is definitely going to be a virus, you know, and AIDS is a disease. And there are people that are born with it. There are people that have contracted AIDS from simply just living a normal, healthy life, just as you are. Maybe getting in the swimming pool with the wrong person, you know, having sex with someone that they trusted. The people are given AIDS and HIV from their husbands and, you know, their wives and people that they've been married to for 20 years. So it sucks that people just think like, oh, they have AIDS and, you know, it's looked down upon, it's shunned upon, other than, you know, if you hear someone has lung cancer or breast cancer or brain cancer, your heart goes out to them. You know, you're thinking about them, you're wondering if they're getting the help. But I feel like here in Baton Rouge, especially in the black community, it is a very, very negative connotation. You know, it's just the association with it is as if like every person that have AIDS is not, that has AIDS or HIV is not a crackhead that used a dirty needle, or is every black man that has it is not gay, or every woman that has it is not a whore. You know, so it's just a lot of stereotypes that need to be broken down, and it's not going to happen unless we talk about it. And I think a lot of people that I've, you know, come to in my community and ask, you know, hey, you want to talk about this subject with me? I believe they were even afraid, you know? And so for me, I'll go on this, I have people in my family that have lived for my entire life with AIDS. That doesn't make the subject any more, you know, near to my heart, just as it hits closer to home, because my community is suffering greatly, and I don't care what anyone says, because when I see any advertisement or billboard about AIDS and HIV, it always has a black person's face on there. And I mean, we have to fight so hard to be the face of different products and corporations, and it's like, but when it comes to that subject, it's so easy to choose our race and our people as the face of it, and it hurts me. And what I like to do with my pain is to make a change and to somehow be an advocate for my people and you know, rescue them from this negative thing, because people are not getting the help that they need because of shame in the community, when there should be organizations set up to, you know, help these people, get them counseling, therapy, the medication that they need, because I feel as though there are, you know, certain things that are being kept from African American people to keep them in a certain plan and game and structure in the way this country is set up.
Yeah, I completely understand. My heart goes out to people who actually have that virus, because I actually lost an aunt to the same thing. My question is, what do you think is keeping Louisiana at the top % of AIDS and the HIV virus?
So as long as I've been an adult keeping up with statistics and, you know, and being into all that, it's always been at least number 1 or number 2. We just looked at number 4. So it's always been within the top 5 as long as I've been living and been from here. I don't like it when people look at one area and curve with a statistic for an area and they don't understand that these statistics,
It's okay.
these statistics work together, you know, to be like, everything is a trickling method, you know. So just like if people are like, oh, there's such high crime in the black community, well, there's a lot of different things going on in the black community than there are in your community, you know what I'm saying? So
do you think it's certain things that trigger certain areas?
Yes, that's like I'm saying. So nobody's looking at Louisiana has the highest incarceration period in the whole country. So, and black people top that. like if there's 6 million something people incarcerated in the world, half of that is African American. How can my race make up for half of the whole population of incarcerated people in the United States? So if people are saying that black people are not being targeted and put away, they are crazy, because the statistics show for that. So also don't think that we have a higher number of imprisonment, meaning that we do have a higher number of AIDS, HIV. When they count these cases, they're not just counting free people walking, they're getting they're counting everyone in the jails, they're counting, so we know how these statistics are picked up. But then let's not remember, so you don't have the statistics of these homeless people or people without identification or people, so it's just, these statistics kill me. Like, it's just always so fun to look at what they come up with. But the numbers don't lie. Yeah. And I believe that Baton Rouge is suffering because we're suffering in more than one area. So, there's a lot more of AIDS and HIV in our community. And we have smaller numbers. Like, we are not a big city, like you could probably fit like 5 of other people's city within our cities, but then you count our statistics and say we're number 4, so I like to look at the statistics of the United States that's per 100,000 people for the area of that city, so that you can more so see a real statistic other than just, Baton Rouge is number 4. Yeah, but Baton Rouge has a significantly smaller population.
Well, it's Louisiana.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, if you're looking at Louisiana as a whole, it has a significantly smaller population than other cities in the United States. So of course our numbers would be higher in that area as well. So I think that by looking at the number, our poverty, our number of incarcerated men, black, looking at all those as a whole will help you to really see that the problem in Louisiana is from a few different areas. But then HIV just having, it's sad to say, but you hear about the bad things in the news. They sometimes you don't even see the good things. So it's like, of course we're number 1 and number 2 and number 4, because it has a shame on it. If AIDS was a good thing, I don't think anybody would be running around talking about how Baton Rouge is number 4. Like,
what I asked a few people this question. What do you think can make this situation better for the future?
Awareness. I think exactly what we're doing, getting out, talking about it, because it seems like everyone's so excited to go and give blood or to go and take the AIDS test and show everybody that they're negative or so it's like, why can't you have the same excitement into going into your community and helping those that did not have that negative result, that had a positive result, that now life has changed, what I'm saying, for them. I want to see that same energy, that same amount of the community standing up for those that are dealing with it. My mother's a 3-time breast cancer survivor, so
wow.
I love getting involved with breast cancer awareness, but I wish that AIDS and the AIDS Healthcare Foundation has done a great job with coming to Baton Rouge and doing a lot, and they are serving so many people and helping with a lot of that issue. So I believe things like that too, international corporations getting involved and just, putting a hand in. So I've been away for a while, and I just was in a documentary with Derek J in Atlanta called Gay Like Me, where they went in to talk about different black men stereotypes and gay in the community and just things like that. And it got picked up by the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, and it's actually going international. So I got to go to a lot of AIDS healthcare seminars. And can you imagine, like, I'm in these other cities and I'm sitting there in rooms of hundreds of people, and it's at the podium speaking about AIDS, but they're only talking about Baton Rouge. Wow. And I'm like, wow. I'm from there. I'm raised there. I went to high school there. I went to college there. My parents live there. There's definitely something to be said. So I will be doing a lot more to speak up about AIDS and HIV in the coming year and for the rest of my life, because it's definitely something near to my heart. And I know that people are afraid to speak up about it. They think that, you're speaking so strongly about it, you must have it. And I don't care what people think, because guess what? You don't have to live in the shoes of that person that is affected by it and lives with every day. Right. So for me to speak up about it and be worried about what my community is going to say about it, that's just, that means nothing to me, because these people are living and breathing, So, I believe that the numbers will go down when the awareness goes up and the help, increases, and people have to care more.
Do you have something in line in order to show your awareness towards virus?
With working with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, I am in the second documentary they're coming out with, which will be to tell my story and to talk about different things like that. But for me, I want to do just exactly what I'm doing. Use my platform and my interviews and my, whatever to speak up about it. I'm actually about to do some photo shoots and stuff like that for AIDS awareness. Just because if I have to just do anything I can, make short videos, short film about it, I have that in the making as well. Photo shoots, because I'm a creator, so it's like if I can use my modeling or my acting in any way to understand my, my audience, to understand my platform, I definitely want to use that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think about the way society is right now? Like, I would like to say, the materialistic
Bojo that's going on.
Yeah,
the Gucci bloom everywhere.
Yeah,
So I honestly, I'm gonna go back to just levels of society, and being from the Black community, being raised in the community, I understood that we oftentimes felt powerless because of the jobs we were offered, or the way we were treated in the community, or like getting less than someone else because of our skin color. It really it created a gap between like what I need and what I want, and I feel like a lot of society was focusing on their needs and my people were focusing on their wants because it gave them a power, jewels and the Gucci and the belts and the Mercedes. It made us feel like we were just good enough. I mean, but it's not our fault, going back to the slave mindset and mentality, jewels and cars and clothes, it made us feel good enough as a people.
Right.
And so it's continuing. But really it's just a pit, it's a financial pit. Who wants to wake up and all you have is a bunch of shoes and boots and, purses, and you don't even have anything saved up. You have children, you have no college fund going, and so it's like we're getting people to understand these type of things. So going back to society and our president right now, a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Donald Trump. They don't even want to say his name, they don't want to call him their president. But as a Black person, I mean, I don't agree with the hate that he has used within his platform, but I love what he's done to my people. I love what he's done to America.
What do you mean?
I love that people are realizing that shit is real. Entrepreneurship is at an all-time high. Small businesses are doing very well, and I feel like people are becoming self-sufficient, and it was great. I love Obama as a president. Never before, when you do something 44, 45 times in a row and it's all white, you think that
Right.
we come from a community where they would have elders telling kids like don't waste your time trying to grow up and be that. Do something else that you can excel in. Do this, and that man really gave our people a lot of hope. But within that hope, sometimes people become lazy. They just my president is Black, it's all good, when there was a lot going on, covertly and overtly. So I do like what Donald Trump is doing to this nation that I live in. People have a fire lit under their ass. It's a fire that is spewing from hate. But hey, I mean, it was just like for me when 9/11 happened. I mean, I can remember that this country came together like never before. Every time a national disaster strikes, we come together, and we see the good in things. So I've definitely seen the good in his presidency and what's going on, because people are really taking care of business,
So would you say he's making America great again?
Oh, he's making America great.
Okay.
Let's just say it. Let's just say the man ain't lie, And there's a lot of people that won't understand what I'm saying, but and trust me, I do not mean that I agree with the hate and the viciousness and the venom, and I just understand that God allows all things for purpose, and I'm definitely letting go of the frustration of him being the president and grabbing on to the positives of the situation, because the country I feel is moving in a positive direction, and it's speed rolling right over his ass, so it's great.